Hare Krishna, dear everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. Today is 25th May 2026, Wednesday. So we have gathered here to continue our studies on Srimad Bhagavatam and on a nectarian chapter. Actually, this is very nectarian chapter on chapter 5. The title is Narada's instruction on Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Sorry, so I need to start late because I have some important work to do. I've not updated my journal and all this, so I really had no time. So I just took a half an hour break and I just got it done. Thank you for waiting. And today, if possible, we can shoot the class, overshoot the class, because I've got only work at 2 o'clock, but till then I'm free. So maybe we can overshoot a little above 11. All right, if it's okay with every one of you. Okay. So now, before we proceed, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dadati Swaparandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapara Kamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidam Cha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyori Pasachari Sarine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine Shri Varshabhana Vidavidaitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vikranadaine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jola Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhakti Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Dvantarine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtai Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupai Rupanu Gavrayate Gaura Virbhava Bhume Stomni Dasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhama Sri Jagannath Taite Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavini Vaishnavi Vayo Namo Namah Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Karatu Sinama Panchatatvakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavani Siri Vrishapanu Tude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivishari Gora Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hari Om Tat Sat Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prishta Bhutali Srimati Jayapataka Swami Tinamni Namacharya Padaya Nektai Kripa Pradaya Gaura Katha Tamtam Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Gurudev Hare Krishna. I hope I'm clear. Okay, set up a mic. Okay, so thank you all for coming. And before that, just that the prayers of Purushottama month is 33 times we have to recite every day. But since because of time constraint, we just recite it for 11 times. Okay, 11 times. Let's recite this mantra. Govardhanadaram Vande Gopalam Goparupinam Gokulotsavam Govindam Gopika Priyam Govardhanadaram Vande Gopala Goparupinam Gokulotsavam Govindam Gopika Priyam Govardhanadaram Vande Gopalam Goparupinam Gokulotsavam Govindam Gopika Priyam Govardhanadaram Vande Gopalam Goparupinam Gokulotsavam Govindam Gopika Priyam Govardhanadaram Vande Gopalam Goparupinam Gokulotsavam Govindam Gopika Priyam Govardhanadaram Vande Gopala Goparupinam Gokulotsavam Govindam Gopika Priyam Govardhanadaram Vande Gopalam Goparupinam Gokulotsavam Govindam Gopika Priyam Govardhanadaram Vande Gopala 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 Goparupinam Gokulotsavam Govindam Gopika Priyam. I offer my obeisances unto Lord Govinda, who lifted Govardhan Hill, who is protector of cows, who appears in the form of a cowherd boy, who is the source of joy for Gokula, who is the supreme controller and who is very dear to the gopis. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, okay, so Hare Krishna. So I'm so happy and excited to see all of you here today. Hare Krishna, Satyanarayan Prabhu, missed you so much. Okay, so thanks for joining us today. Everyone, the sun is a new person, okay? All right, so today we're going to continue our discussion on this very, very exciting nectarian part of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so here we're going to talk on text 23. Okay, so until text 22, at first, Narada Muni started to chastise Vyasadeva. Then after that, he suggested what to speak. Then after that, he praised Vyasadeva, saying that you are not an ordinary person. You are part of the supreme whole. You are Saktivesh avatar, and you know it well because you are part of it. You are Saktivesh. Okay, but of course, we also learned from that. Yesterday also is a kind of a very sensitive topic. When we talk about accepting Guru, and some says, no, we don't accept Guru. We have our Adi Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and we don't need to have any other living Gurus. So yesterday it's a refutal. So text 22, purport, please try to remember by heart. And also we also read that even great acharyas, even a great avatar like Krishna, Rama, all they need to have a spiritual master. And similarly here, Vyasadeva also followed the same thing in the form of Acharya. So you have submitted himself and took instruction from Narada Muni, even though he is the personality of Godhead, the Saktivesh avatar. Okay, so that is something very important. And Prabhupada also mentioned that you need to have a person guru, and that guru you must take instruction. So there's another contemplation happened yesterday. Say like my spiritual master, he has around 70,000 disciples around the world. And of course, sometimes, not sometimes, always we don't have enough relationship or reciprocation with him. We don't take direct orders. And sometimes we wonder, what is happening and everything. So it's very unique relationship, actually, the Guru Tattva, whereby whatever things that I need to be known, I was told by my Siksha Guru. So sometimes the Diksha Guru will come in the form of Siksha Guru and give you advice. It's a very unique relationship. So you need to have a person to tell you that. Like for instance, you can read your Bhagavatam by yourself. But why are you here? But because when you are hearing from a person, it is completely different than merely reading the book. So that's it. So and not only that, certain things like when even though that we don't have much opportunity to meet our spiritual master, but sometimes whatever things that we have in our heart, even at a glance, what happened? He gives you such instruction. The relationship is actually very unique, because if you look at it, the spiritual master is actually the spiritual master is actually your Chaitya Guru, in your heart. He manifests. He knows you. We do not need to go in, we don't need to like get a direct this thing. He just knew what is with you, and he always pray for you. When a spiritual master pray for you, it is very powerful. So with that, I just like to share on my last birthday, my spiritual master sent a message to me. And of course, as you know, that don't have a almost nil communication or conversation, and yet he sent me the message in such a way. And after yesterday's class, I was contemplating, then suddenly this message popped up again, and I was like very surprised. All right. So he says here, my dear spiritual son, Padita Tarna Jagannath Das, please accept my blessings. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Home base Sri Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir, Camp Sri Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir. So he writes here, I'm writing this letter to tell you that you are very dear to me and to send my blessings for your birthday. Krishna Mati Rastu. I regularly pray for you in front of the deities. I'm requesting their lordship to Sri Radha and Madhava Asta Shakti, Sri Radha Panchatattva, Sri Panchatattva, Sri Prahlad Narsingadev to kindly shower their nectarian glance of mercy upon you, that you will make swift progress on the path of bhakti. So at this moment, I will start to think, okay, maybe this is being sent as a default message, right? Maybe it's a default message he sends to all the other disciples. But here, another thing that I was having in my heart, deep in my heart, and see how my Guru Maharaj replied. He said, this material world is full of suffering. The way to solve this is to get out of this material world. No matter what happens, we should never give up the service to Krishna. Then after that, he says, nothing should stop us from chanting Hare Krishna. Okay, all this, maybe I can say it as a default. Okay, default message is sending to everyone. Maybe some of you also should be getting this. But this is something that I was like, blew me off. He said, I wanted to reach prema in this life. Because that was my, what they call my aspiration. I was wondering, what is bhava? What is prema? So he says, I wanted to achieve prema in this life. That is the highest achievement in human life. And after that, he says, I also hope you will assist me in fulfill the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. So he instructed me to preach without limit. And for this, I depend on all of you, my disciples. I hope you will preach unlimitedly wherever you are. All right. Then he says, I would be happy to receive the regular updates from you as a question you may have. Okay. So, so what I'm trying to tell you here is, when we receive a direct message from spiritual master, right? Maybe some can say, like, like sometimes I've seen in the temple when someone says, oh, I got an email from Guru Maharaj. When he started reading, then another disciple just like cut them off and said, oh, no, it's not by default. He sends the same message to everyone. And that made the devotee feel very upset. Because, sometimes people don't think before they talk. But actually what I am trying to tell you here is, when you have a personal guide, a person who cares for you. See, like for instance, we pray to Krishna, oh my dear Lord, give me mercy, give me this, give me that. But spiritual master pray to Krishna for what? He prays. He prays. What does he pray? Pray because he have achieved the highest achievement, highest perfection. And he pray for what? So he pray that he prays every day, just like the turtle. After he lay the egg, after the turtle lay the egg at the beach, and the turtle goes away. Hundreds of eggs he lays. But after that, in his mind, he meditates. And through the meditation, they say that the turtle will become hatch, and somehow or other the turtle will go back to the sea. Right? So that means through the meditation. And imagine, even the mundane living entity can do that. What do you think about spiritual master? What do you think about acharyas? So he prayed, my dear Lord, I hope that all my disciples will become a pure devotee in the future. I hope that they all can practice their bhakti, and that prayer is very powerful. All right. So that was the yesterday's takeaway, because I was hoping for someone to at least share some takeaway yesterday, but nobody did. But I was just contemplating, and I came out with this few things that actually popped in my mind. All right. Okay. So now we're going to start text 23. So after Narada Muni instructed Vyasadeva, and now Narada Muni is trying to speak about his life. So whatever the things that we're going to learn from 23 onwards is what he has summarized to Vyasadeva from 1 to 22. right? From what we have learned in the first half, because this chapter is around 44, from is taken 44 verses, right? 40, it's 40 verses. So that means we are in between here. So the first half, he was chastising, suggesting, praising. And now the other half, he's going to give his own testimony. How this knowledge of the absolute have brought him where is he here now, to convince. You know, sometimes when we school our children, you know, you are like this, you're naughty, you're that, you're this. Sometimes we take the cane, we want to whack, you know, everything. After all that happened, what we do? We do a table talk. You know, once upon a time, you know, how struggle I studied, you know, I have no light, you know, I worked so hard, my father can't afford it. I studied my way up, and now I'm giving you all this opportunity. Let me tell you why. So, you have experienced this? Satyanarayan Prabhu, do you do that to your children? You are muted, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay. Always, Prabhu, always.
So after you give them advice, then you relate your life story, correct or not?
Yeah, it's somebody follow up, Prabhu.
Yes, it's follow up. So like that. So that means now it's the same thing Narada Muni is doing here. Now he's going to explain about his life testimony. All right. So this is very interesting part of this thing, because initially we understood, you know, when we were in first chapter, what we understood, what are the things that you're going to learn in Srimad Bhagavatam? The story about a devotee, Krishna's pastime, Krishna's pastimes, all the avatars and all the leelas, then ultimately then all the mistakes and rectification and prayer. So this is the first thing that we're going to learn about a devotee, and that is yesterday. All right, now let's look at the verse. Aham puratita bhave bhavang muni dashyastu kayaschana vedavadinam Nirupito balaka eva yoginam shushrushane pravirshi nirvivikshatam. Aham means I. Puratita bhava. Puratita bhave. Okay, the word here is abhavam. Okay, the word is abhavam. But of course, but what we do, we combine this thing. So, aham puratita bhave bhavam. Bhave abhavam. So we don't use the word a. We don't pronounce the word a there. So we just combine the word. Aham puratita bhave bhavam. Mune dasyastu. S. No sha, no sha. It's s. Sa. So dasyastu. Dasyastu. That means dasya means serving. Kayaschana. Okay, now you see the s with the apostrophe. So kayaschana. Veda vadinam. Nirupito balaka. Balaka means young boy. Eva yoginam shushushane. Shampoo. So shru, then this is sha. So shane pravrishe nirvivikshatam. Nirvivikshatam. Okay, there's a that's a that's dash. So okay, no. Aham purati tabave bhavamune dasyastu kayaschana vedavadinam nirupito balaka eva yoginam shushushane pravirshi nirvivikshatam. Aham purati tabave bhavamune Tasyastu kayaschana vedavadinam nirupito balaka eva yoginam shushrushane pravirshe nirvivikshatam. Aham purati tabave bhavamune dasyastu kayaschana vedavadinam nirupito balaka eva yoginam Shushushane pravirshe nirvivikshatam. Okay, anybody with the verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, shall I?
Mataji.
Aham pura Purātita bhave bhavam mune dasyastu kasyaschana vedavadina virupito balaka eva yogina susrusane pravrishi nirviksatam.
Nice, very nice. Okay, Mangalam Rupani Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Aham puratita bhave bhavam muni dasyastu kashyastana vedavadinam nirupito balaka eva yoginam susrusane pravrishi nirviviksatam.
Very nice. Wonderful. Next. Anand
Hare
Rupani
Krishna,
Mataji.
Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Aham puratita bhave bhavam muni dasyastu kasyachana vedavadinam nirupito balaka eva yoginam sushrusane pravarshi nirvikshatam. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
nice. But here, Prabhu, it's not Shani. Shani.
Shani.
Shushushane Pravirsha Nirvikshata.
Shani. Okay, Prabhu.
Thanks, thanks. Okay, next. Anyone else? Okay. All right. Aham purati tabave bhavam mune tasyastu kayaschana vedavadinam nirupito balako eva yoginam shushushane pravirsha nirvivikshatam. Right? Let's look at the word by word. Aham means I. Pura means formally. Right? Pura. That's why sometimes the word Purana, especially sometimes in Hindi, Puran or Purana means history. Right? So here the word Pura means formally. Atita Bhave, in the previous millennium. All right, now this is important. Atita Bhave, that means he's referring to previous millennium. Previous millennium. That means you're talking about Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. So now this is before this happened, before the previous millennium. Okay. Abhavam. Abhavam means become. Mune, of the Muni. Dasya. Dasya means he's the maidservant. Okay. Of the maidservant. To, but Kayaschana, certain Vedavadinam. Vedavadina means of the followers of the Vedanta. Nirupita, engage. Balaka, he's a boy servant, Bala. Eva, only. Yoginam, of the devotees. Shushushane, in the service of Pravirshi, with the 4 months of the rainy season. Okay, Pravirshi means during the 4 months, Chaturmasya. Right? Nirvivikshatam, living together. Anybody the translation?
Prabhu, shall I?
Yes, Pataji.
O Muni, in the last millennium, I was born as the son of a certain maidservant engaged in the service of Brahmanas, who were following the principles of Vedanta. When they were living together during the 4 months of the rainy season, I was engaged in their personal service. Hare Krishna.
All right. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So now, Narada Muni addressing Vyasadeva as Muni. Oh Muni, he's saying, in the last millennium, I was born as the son of certain maidservant. That means what? He is the son of a Sudra. Sudrani. All right, he's a son of Sudrani. Okay. So, and he engaged in the service of a Brahmanas who are following the principle of Vedanta. Okay. So when they were living together during the 4 months of the rainy season, because during the Chaturmasya rainy season, they don't travel. So sometimes flooding, disease. So they all travel on this one particular month, they go and stay in one place. So they went to one ashram and all of them were living together. If not, they have no time, they'll be scattering, they're going around the world and preaching. and this thing. Okay. So, but that time, all of them were in a rainy season, and I was engaged in their personal service. What we can understand from here? Okay, let's contemplate. Right? See, when we understand here is when we talk about association of devotee. Okay, association of devotee. Even you associate with one devotee itself, you can achieve the highest success. Highest success. But here, even when you just look at this, makes engage in the service of the Brahmanas. That means more than one. How we can understand? Because they were all living together. So living together means there's many Brahmanas got together there. Okay, living together and during the 4-month season. And now I was engaged in their personal service. So Narada Muni was engaging in the service of all the Brahmanas. Okay, now let's look at the purport here. A wonderful Srila Prabhupada wrote a fantastic purport on this topic. So there's lots of marking I've done on my book. All right, let's see. The clear service of the Lord begins. Okay, so the wonder of an atmosphere surcharged with devotional service of the Lord is briefly described herein by Sri Narada Muni. All right. So what we can see here. All right. Sorry. So what? Okay. What we see here, the wonder of an atmosphere which is surcharged. Okay. In devotional service, it's briefly described in Narada Muni, by Narada Muni. All right. Now let's look at this. He was a son of the most insignificant parentage. That means he was not a Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya, but he is a son to a Sudra. Sudra means the mates. Okay, the son of a Sudra. So very most insignificant. Prabhupada used the word is what? As the most insignificant parentage. Okay, now he was not properly educated. All right, because the Sudras they have no time for go to school. The parents will teach the Sudra how to become the next generation Sudra. All right, they teach them how to do cleaning and serving and everything. Okay, still, because his complete energy was engaged in the service of the Lord, he became an immortal sage. Wow. So let's look at this word very carefully. All right. So what he says, he was not, first of all, he was not properly educated. He don't have a proper education. Okay. But because his complete energy was engaged, that means he used his complete energy that he has to engage, okay, in the service of the Lord. And because of this, he has become an immortal sage. So what we can understand from your Prabhus and mothers. Huh? So when we look at this thing called his complete energy, all right, and that complete energy he engaged, he used it for the service of the Lord. So when we are engaging our mind, our intelligence, our speech, our behavior, our act, the service of the Lord, and now this is the result. He became an immortal sage. Now, such is the powerful action of devotional service. Right? That is how powerful is devotional service. It is not like, is there any other, see, for instance, when a person wants to become a sage or such a great person, they have to do a very severe austerity. They have to do a lot of tapasya. They have to be born again in a Brahmana family and continue. During Prabhupada's Leela, then one of his disciples came back very happy. And Prabhupada asked, yes, what happened? Oh, no, Prabhupada, I went to one temple. The priest saw me. He was very happy to see me. Okay. And he gave me a blessing, Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, what blessing did he give you? He said, I bless you, next birth you'll born as a Brahmana in Vrindavan. And Prabhupada got so annoyed. Anyone of you know the story? He got so annoyed. He said, what is this? You go and tell him. You go and tell him now Okay, I bless you. The next birth you'll born in America and preach Krishna conscious. Isn't that fantastic the way Prabhupada put it? Right? Next birth you'll born in America and go to preach Krishna conscious. So, what we understand from here, this is a first indication that devotional service do not see any kind of birth consideration. It is not to say that you have to be born in certain family, certain caste, certain country. No. Even the most abominable human type is Malicha. Right? When you divide the word Malicha means Mala Icha. Okay, Mala Icha. Mala means what? Stool. Icha means enjoyer. Enjoyer of the stool. Or also called as Malicha. First meaning. Second meaning of Malicha means meat eaters. Right? And the certain quarter of people, especially the Muslims, is called as Malicha. Right? They are just by default, they're called because they are beef eaters. They are even worst. They eat the mother cow. The most abominable sin that they are doing. Beef eaters. All right? So they are known as Malicha. And even the person who born in Malicha, in the Malicha family, they achieved the highest success of Sukriti in Bhakti is, unlike Haridas Thakur. He was born in a Muslim family, but of course, due to his practice, he became the great and even became even more superior, greater than even the Brahmanas. We can also study in that Antya Leela, okay, Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's one Shraddha ceremony. They make a big offering, the big plate of offering they offer to Krishna, they offer to the Shraddha. And that is only the VIP or the devotee or a great devotee, the head of the Brahmanas only can eat that. So, I don't know, it's Advaita Acharya, if I'm not mistaken. He take the thing and give it to Haridas Thakur. And some people got annoyed. How can this Malicha get the first class treatment? You know? They say, no, he's a very, does he know how to put a fire? Then there'll be argument. Does he know to do, does he know how to do yagya? Does he know how to lit a fire? Does he know this? Does he know that? Blah, 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 blah. He said, right? I say, yes, he can prove it to you. And he just chanted Hare Krishna, the fire pop came out. You need to use that matches or something like that. He just by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, the fire, the sacrificial fire emanated. So they all surrendered to him. Yes, he is the great devotee. So there is no prior qualification. It doesn't matter from which background that we come from. It doesn't matter at all. Now, can we have that opportunity? Yes. So this is the proof. So that is how the powerful action of devotional service. So devotional service, like now we are listening to Harikatha. Then after that, you're going to chant your Hare Krishna mantra, taking prasadam, right? Doing Sankirtan, doing the temple service and all this. It's a very powerful act. So now Prabhupada continues. He says, the living entities are the marginal energy of the Lord. Okay, do you all know this? The living entities are the marginal energy of the Lord. You remember this? You all remember or not? Prabhus and mothers?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so we are marginal. So we are marginal energy of the Lord. And then Prabhupada writes, therefore they are meant for being properly utilized in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. All right? Just like, for instance, we buy a car and you don't use the car. You keep it in your garage, thinking the car will be spoiled quickly. What is the use of the car? To utilize, all right? To drive around. You cannot say, oh, this car is, I don't use the car, so the car will not spoil and everything. No, I know a person. All right. He bought a car around, 6-7 years ago. Until today, the car is brand new. All right. He have not even not even hit 5,000 kilometers. They say, what is the idea of buying the car? Yeah, he's buying the car, but once in a while when I need it, only I use. Because I don't want to use it because I don't spoil the car. So that is madness. So similarly, we are a spiritual living entity. And because of some mistake, we have fallen into this material world. And now we have to go back home, back to Godhead. So in order to do that, we need to practice atonement. We have to practice atonement, and we have to practice atonement, confession, atonement, and we have to utilize, we have to engage in the service, and with all this atonement and engagement, then we can go back. So in order to do that, we need to have a vehicle. So the vehicle was created, made of these 5 material elements. And of course, it has total of 20 elements. Then it has 3 subtle elements. That the thing that going to run the program. Okay, run the machine. Okay, and of course, it's given you pradhan, 3 mode of material nature, is total of 24 elements. Right? Say, like for instance, now we are sitting in front of the computer and we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. So I as a matter, you as a matter, we are using an intelligence which is inside our mind. We are talking about Srimad Bhagavatam. But now, how the computer works, how the electricity works, how the electricity transmitted, and how the computer is on, how the thing get processed inside, how the thing when I speak at the same second is transmitted to you, how the internet works, how the connection cable, all these we don't know. But all this is required to make our study successful. Similarly, after we created the matter, we need to have something subtle to run it. That's mind, intelligence, and ego. Okay, mind, intelligence, and ego. So like that, it's created in such a way. But the problem is, after we atone, then we come back into this material world, there's also reward. That's also, there's reward. The tongue wants a palatable food. The eyes want to see beautiful things. The nose want to smell wonderful things. And the ears want to listen some good stories. And the skin wants to rub with another skin. So when all these kind of itches and all these kind of things started to this thing, so what happened? It's fair enough. I want to see beautiful thing. You see Krishna. Nose want to see some nice fragrance. You smell the food or prasadam that offered to Krishna. That's why they say before you eat prasadam, I remember reading it many, many years ago. I can't find the reference. But they say how you should eat prasadam. When the prasadam is served to you, first of all, you have to sniff. Wow. When you smell, you sniff, you start to create the appetite. Okay? You start to create the appetite. Then you start off with achar. Then your tongue will start to produce saliva. Nakura aramiko. Then you start off with sweet. Halwa. That's why they give you a little halwa first. You start to eat the sweet. When you start to eat the sweet, it creates like a dopamine. It creates excitement that you just want to go and indulge in the prasadam. Then you start to eat. Yes, fair enough. But the problem is, the eyes and the senses, they demand more. Give me more, not enough more. Then the rub of the skin to produce children. But it's so exciting that sometimes people can get addicted to that. And the addiction level goes so crazy. And they say that my wife cannot satisfy me and everything. They go look for some cheap ladies, prostitutes. Even that seems to be more expensive. And that is the imagination in this kind of the topmost enjoyment in this material world is sex. And in order even to get the topmost happiness, they even created these pornography movies. Nude, naked people, pornography, all these kind of things coming to create they want to push our excitement to the most maximum place. Then after that, what happened? Finish. Then we fall down. What happened? The person who loves to have sex every day, like sex maniac, what will happen to them? They'll born as a pigeon. Because the pigeon have sex 23 times every 1 hour. 1 hour or 1 day or something like that. they take a birth as a pigeon. All right. And those who love to eat everything that runs, flies, and swim and everything, they're born as a pig. Okay, this we see it in Bhagavad Gita. So like that. So, but the real thing is we have to utilize this machine. We are wrongly utilized the machine. We got a Mercedes Benz and we have to utilize for the family, comfort, safety. But you take the Mercedes Benz, turn into taxi, or use it as Grab, or take it on off-road. That means you're destroying that vehicle. The vehicle with all the technology created comfort, but you're using it in the wrong way. Similarly, we are using it the wrong way. So that's why Prabhupada wrote here, he says that, and therefore they are meant for being properly utilized in the transcendental living service of the Lord. So when this is not done, what happened? And that is called Maya. What does it mean? When this thing is not done, and this is called Maya. Why? Because we are in illusion. What you're supposed to use it, you're not using it. But you're using it for some other nonsense things. Therefore, the illusion of Maya is at once dissipated. So the illusion of Maya is at once dissipated. Dissipated means it's removed. Dissipated means it just suddenly disappeared. Right? Example, where do we use the word dissipated? The word dissipation, where usually we use? Where will we will use the word dissipated? Anyone?
Dissipate the darkness of ignorance.
Correct. Correct. Very good. So dissipate the darkness of ignorance. See, there's a darkness here. See, just now when I before I start the session, the curtain was off and the room was very dark. When I just opened the curtain, just a few inches I opened, the darkness suddenly disappeared. The darkness was overtook by light. How could that be? It is not a gradual. See, like if I see some dirt here, I'm mopping. That means I'm clearing it off. Gradual. That means I'm mopping. It's still dirty. Then I take a second round. I mop it again. Then third round, I mop it again. Fourth round, it becomes spotless. It takes effort. But dissipation means it happened simultaneously. At that moment, at that second, pop, disappear. So what Prabhupada writes here is, when this is not done, okay, then it is called Maya. Okay, now, therefore, the illusion of Maya is at once. Again, he used the word once. Dissipated means it's at once actually. But he repeat the word at once. Dissipated means he's stressing the point 2 times. At once dissipated. Are you following me? Who don't understand what I'm talking about? Right? I hope you all understand, huh? Right.
Okay,
Okay. So that means at once. So that means dissipation means it means at once. But now Prabhupada using the word at once dissipated. Or when we break the word, that means at once, immediate. So something like that. But the word at once dissipated, Prabhupada is making a very strong statement here. At once dissipated. And again, he repeat the point even more stressful. How? As soon as one's full energy. Because dissipated also can call as soon as one. As soon as. Okay? The word dissipate can break into 2. At once, as soon. But here Prabhupada says at once, dissipated, as soon. So it is a very strong statement, Prabhus and mothers. It's a very strong statement. So as soon as one's full energy, what happened is converted. Converted means what? Whatever you're doing, you're just changing. You're eating meat, now eat prasadam. Right? When you want to see some nasty things around you, some sexy girls, some all these kind of nonsense, now you're seeing beautiful Radha and Krishna. You're just converting. You're still seeing, but converting. That means still a human, but you convert to another religion. That means what? You're changing your belief system. Convert means entire changes, complete changes. Convert. Right? I'm a Hindu, then become a Muslim. That means I'm giving up all the system that I'm born with. Right? So as once fulfill the energy is converted, that means totally utilized, no more in material concept, converted in the service of the Lord instead of sense enjoyment. All right. So that's already the word converted means service of the Lord instead of sense enjoyment, or in the sense enjoyment. So what we can understand from here. So as soon as we convert our energy, all right. So now we go back way. So when we go back way, sometimes we go front and back. Okay, now let me get this color. Okay, now what happened? Okay, that means our sense enjoyment, okay, instead of enjoying it ourselves, sense enjoyment, but what happened? I convert it into the service of the Lord. Okay, what happened? Convert the thing with, that means I'm doing it with full energy. All right. Once I do it, then quickly, then soon, all my thing get dissipated. Okay. What dissipated? The illusion of Maya will be dissipated at once. Okay. Now, Prabhupada is continuing here. Why it's not? Okay. Now he continues. He said, from the personal example of Sri Narada Muni, from the personal example of Sri Narada Muni, in his previous birth, it is clear that the service of the Lord begins with the service of the Lord's bona fide servants. Very, very, very important. So we should understand the service to the Lord, it only begins, okay, through the service of the Lord's bona fide servants. That's when it started. Okay. Now, the Lord says the service to the servant is greater than his personal service. Who said that? Bhagavan have said, Lord says, the service to his servants is greater, Prabhus and mothers, is greater than his personal service. Okay. If you have any question, please stop me immediately. It's a very important topic. So, service of the devotee is more valuable than the service to the Lord. So, one should therefore choose a bona fide servant of Lord, constantly engage in his service. So, that means one should therefore, Prabhupada says, one should therefore choose a bona fide servant. So, you don't want to choose a bona fide servant, and how? They say, yeah, correct. Yeah, that's true. That's what the Ritvik idea. They say, yeah, bona fide servant. Yes, Prabhupada is the guru. He's a servant. He's a great acharya. So I accept him. But then Prabhupada also repeat complete, and after that, Prabhupada continues in this statement. What he says? And constantly engaged in his service. All right. Then he continues. Yeah, okay, I'm engaging, I'm reading, I'm studying, and I'm just using Prabhupada's statement to serve Krishna. But Prabhupada also continues, he says, and accept such servant as the spiritual master. Then he says, engage himself in the spiritual master service. Right? Then after the Prabhupada continues, such spiritual master is the transparent medium by which to visualize the Lord. So transparent medium means what? That means the person should be there standing in front of you to see him. When I see in a photo, what do I see? Of course, it's transcendental. But that means, how many of you hope that Krishna comes to you? How many of you have that aspiration? One day I hope Krishna come to me. Happy in front of you. Do you like Krishna to appear in front of you? Thumbs up. Right? Nobody likes it.
Yes, Prabhu, everyone surely will like that.
No. Don't generalize. You. Just say I and me.
Definitely.
Yes. So do you want to still remain looking at the photo? Krishna Kumari Mate, do you want to still go on?
For now, got no choice, have to look at the picture lah, and think
Yeah.
that he is there.
But do you want to go on with that? Do you want to go on looking at the photo only?
No lah.
Exactly. One day, just imagine, Mataji, Krishna Kumari Mataji, when you got married,
Uh-huh.
is it a arranged marriage or a love marriage?
Love.
Oh, love marriage. Okay. Who approached you? You or your husband? Who
Husband.
started it? Oh.
Husband.
Okay. At that time usually they'll keep a photo and everything, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? First, your husband looked at you, he liked you.
Yeah.
Then after that, he kept the photo and he always stare at the photo, increase the liking.
Uh-huh.
Can he go on increasing liking and marry to the photo?
Cannot.
Yeah. Then how is that possible? He says, no, I don't need to have a living guru. Just this kind of mundane feelings, we need to have a person. And to understand Krishna, they say, you don't need to have anybody. You understand, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
So when anybody come and speak about Ritvik idea, we just quote this 20, 21, 22, 23. Very powerful. Especially 22, 23 purport. Prabhupada clearly mentioning this. So what it says here? So it says here that the spiritual master is the transparent medium by which to visualize the Lord. We are seeing Krishna by looking at our spiritual master, who is beyond the conception of material senses, Prabhus and mothers. I like to share my own testimony, right? Beyond the conception of material senses. My spiritual master is totally sick. It is impossible for a person to live that kind of life. Everything in his body is totally damaged. His liver is gone. His kidney is gone. Just name it. What are the diseases? Basically, I've experienced everything. He had a cancer on his head, right? He had a massive stroke. He lost his impairment. I think one of his eyes are not functioning. His ears are not working, right? He can't speak clearly. And he's having a severe body pain because the body is all like stuck, all like stuck to this thing. Even I'm having a knee pain also, feel like, oh my God. I go to KL and come back as though I went to feel like a half date. But how can he go on doing this? How can all the disciples of Prabhupada and all the acharyas of sannyasis, they can just go on traveling at a very old age? Have you noticed that? How is that possible? How is that possible that His Holiness Bhakti Vikna Vinasa Narasingha Maharaj don't become tired? How is that possible? Is it human? Human means must be tired. Like when Narasingha Maharaj comes, he was in Penang, then after they came to Ipoh, that never ending. And he's around 76. Right? How they could do it? Do you think they are human? No. So when we really sit and analyze, all right, when we really sit and analyze, despite all this suffering, struggling, pain, jet lag is a terrible thing. Despite all these pains and suffering, they can just go on with full enthusiasm, move on, push on the movement, and being very enthusiastic. And imagine, usually we go and advise a sickly man, right? Don't worry, you'll be okay. I'll pray for you. We will talk like that. But now it's upside down. A sickly man is telling us, don't worry, Krishna will there, I'll bless you. How is that possible? It doesn't make sense at all. So do you think they are just ordinary? They are just ordinary? No, it's extraordinary. Everything that Prabhupada teaches in Bhagavatam in this purport, now we are seeing a living proof. Right? So when we look at the living proof, then we see that when you look at this, see, like Mahavishnu Swami, 80 plus years old. He get into the plane, start singing. He get down from the plane, start singing. He was in Malaysia. What happened? In the Facebook, I got a shock. He came out through the thing while playing the thing, singing. Mahavishnu Swami, right? the small size. Do you know Mahavishnu Swami? Anyone?
Yes,
He was,
Prabhu.
you know,
Yeah,
he was,
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. He was in Penang, Prabhu.
yeah, he was in Penang. He was singing. Suddenly, this one Malay guy was there at the airport. He just went there, hold his hand, and start to spin. Wow, 80-year-old person. It is impossible. That is what we visualize. The Lord, who is beyond the conception of material senses, through the medium of our spiritual master. Right? So then Prabhupada continues, by service of the bona fide spiritual master, by serving that kind of spiritual master, when you serve that kind of master, the Lord consents. That's when the God says, okay, consents. He approves for to do what? To reveal himself. That's when he said, okay, now, okay, you serve my thing. Oh, okay, good. Now, okay, I consent. That means your application is approved. And to reveal himself. How? He doesn't come in front of you, Prabhus and mothers. And Prabhupada writes here, he reveal himself. How he going to reveal himself? In proportion. In proportion. That means part by part. Now you start to feel, now I reveal my service at character. Now I reveal my anger character. So you learn, or he will reveal to you in many other characters. Sometimes when we feel the end of the world coming, but it seems like swiftly he solved the problem. You know, I've experienced that so many times. So swift deliverer. After you, that means you start to feel Krishna. Yes, he revealed to you part by part, part by part. And how he revealed himself in proportion, in installment. He doesn't come to you directly. He give you part by part. Just like we are studying from Srimad Bhagavatam, little by little by little, then we understand the 10th canto, who is the summum bonum, the total complete perfection of human life. So like that, we learn in proportion. So we do proportion. But we are understanding proportion of this thing by reading Bhagavatam, studying Bhagavatam. But here Prabhupada writes, but the Lord consents to reveal himself in proportion. How? To the service rendered. How much you serve your spiritual master, that is much that you gain the audience of the Lord. Ask yourself. I mean, you shouldn't. I'm so sorry for that statement. But I always ask myself, have I done enough? Like my Siksha Guru the day when we were having a morning talk, then he was asking, so Paditatarna, so what did you plan for Purushottama months? I know devotees who are only eating 1 meal a day, and that also fruits. I know some devotees can do that. You know, they are quite elderly. And I was thinking, such an elderly person can do that. So what should I do? What should I do? Then what happened? I went into the imitation. I was like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do? No. And that's when I start to remember. I think there's one Mataji from US. What's the name? She's telling, whatever things you do it the best. Right? And then I start to realize, okay. So I ask myself, I want the Lord to reveal himself to me. I want the Lord to reveal himself. So, is 16 rounds enough? I ask that question to myself. Is 16 rounds is really enough? Okay. Because what we understand, the 64 limbs of bhakti, 9 is essential, 3 is important, and 1 is vital. Hearing, remembering, and chanting. And we are doing it. Every morning we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, trying to go deep into Krishna's understanding. But the vital is the chanting. So, like that. So, how much do you want Krishna to be with you? It depends how much you call him. Keep bothering him until Srimati Radharani will be telling, my dear, look at this soul. He's been keep calling you. Just go and give him something. All right. So like that. So I always ask that question to me, is that enough? So I'm not trying to imitate others. So some people can have a very strong, what they call, determination. Like I know this devotee that I'm mentioning, he fasts on Ekadasi Nirjala. But 70-plus-year-old man, he can do it. Of course, his body is built and his determination is a former big gun in enforcement, and is very brave. So his determination is part of this. But I am not determined. No, I gotta know this kind of thing. So anyway, we asked that thing. How much do you want the Lord? Because Prabhupada writes here so clearly, all these happen in proportion of the service rendered. Then after that, Prabhupada continues, another important point. Utilization of the human energy. We all have energy. But where do we utilize our energy? But now Prabhupada writes, utilization of the human energy in the service of the Lord is the progressive path of salvation. Progressive path. Because when we want to engage in Krishna consciousness, we must have a sattvic environment. We must have a sattvic attitude, character. Right? So utilization of human energy, that means we are using all our energy that we have in the service of the Lord. And that's a progressive path of salvation. So have you hit the target or not? If you didn't hit the target, you're just going to continue next birth. It doesn't matter. Because as a devotee, we have no more fear at all. Why we have no fear? It doesn't matter. Now I'm in this body, and let's say, just imagine I'm the son of a multi-millionaire. I have no worries. I take the car, drive, suddenly the car made an accident, just throw the car, buy another BMW, drive, made an accident, then I throw the car, then I buy another Porsche or Ferrari. I just can, because I know my father can afford to give me all these cars. So okay, just imagine, but when you are a poor person, you bought a car, you look after the car very carefully. You drive slowly, you drive carefully, you handle gently, because that's the only property you have. If the thing's gone, you can't afford it. But imagine if you're a son of a multi-millionaire. All right, carefree life, just drive, okay lah, just Mercedes, drive until the car. You do sometimes you don't even bother to service the car. Suddenly the thing starts shaking. Throw the car, take another car. You're just going to continue with your cars. So similarly like this. So once we are here in the service, all right, now they say you have to come to the 50% benchmark, 50% benchmark, right? Then you these kind of things will reveal to you. You come to that 70% benchmark. And that's when you start to understand Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then you start to come to the 80-90% benchmark. Then that's when you start to understand, you come to the level of self-realization. Because we read it a few days ago. We have to come to that. No, it's in Bhagavatam. That's the class I gave in Sunday. Last Sunday, it's a class I gave in a temple, right? In Bhagavad Gita, 7.16. That was my topic, I think, 7.16 from Music. It says that we have to come to the self-realization. Once we come to the level of self-realization, that's when we can practice bhakti. So in order to come to the self-realization, we need to use the service to come to the level of self-realization. And after you self-realize, you're going to perform the same bhakti, but you're doing it perfectly. That's it. Just like that. Okay. First, you need to pour the water on your body to moist it. Just to moist the dirt, you have to pour the water on your body. Then you apply soap. Then again, you're going to use the same water to clean off all that moist. So the water is the standard, is a platform. It is the fundamental element. So similarly, bhakti is a fundamental element. So we practice bhakti for purification. After we come to the level of purified, we continue doing our bhakti perfectly. That's it. So that's why Prabhupada writes here, the progressive path. The progressive path, how we can understand that? Right? First, we are so dirty, we need to clean it. We use bhakti. After the bhakti, after all our anarthas has been cleansed, then you continue with your bhakti for salvation. So this is a progressive path. It is not the actual path, not the what they call the samam bonam. Let me see. It's not that you practice bhakti, immediately you become a purified person. No. So it's a progressive path. So in this progressive path, it doesn't matter how many births we're going to take this to continue. It doesn't matter at all. Right? It doesn't matter at all. So I always think about all the Guru Acharyas, my Shiksha Guru, my Diksha Guru, you know, how they can simply travel the world. That means like we come here, finish, then you go to the next place, then go on going to the next and next and next and next and next and next, just going on next. Similarly, the same thing we also should think about it. In this birth, doesn't matter. Okay, now just look at yourself in the mirror, pop. Then this you give up this body, then you go to the next body, you go to continue. Fantastic journey, Prabhus and mothers. And there's nothing to be lose. There's nothing to be. There's no losses. Then Prabhupada writes, the whole cosmic creation become at once identical with the Lord. Then you start to see the whole cosmic manifestation. You can start to see identical. You can start to relate with Krishna. As soon as service in relation with the Lord is rendered. As soon as the service in the relation is rendered. Served. But that also, we must remember, it should be under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Not simply you create your own whimsical idea and serve the Lord. No. Follow the, sometimes you say, what is this? What's so tedious process? Huh? When I can use a machine to, I can use a kind of a hand vacuum to sweep, why I need to use a broom? But your spiritual master says, use the broom. When I got a mop, when I got a mop that I can mop the floor, but the spiritual master says, take the cloth and get down and wipe. Hey, but Guru Maharaj, I can use the mop. He said, no, use the towel to wipe. We don't argue. We just do it. Why? Because he knows the reason. The more that you're going to bend and serve and all this, and that the more you're going to get the sukriti or the purification. All right? So then, Prabhupada writes, the expert spiritual master knows the art of utilizing everything to glorify the Lord. Therefore, under the guidance of the whole world can be turned into the spiritual abode. How? By the divine grace of the Lord's servant. Today we are sitting here talking. Krishna didn't come and save you, my dear Prabhus and mothers. Remember that. Krishna is secondary. Krishna didn't come and make you a devotee. But the secondary Krishna is actually the primary. The ultimate goal of life. But who did come and make you a devotee? Who came and spoke to you? If not, Srila Prabhupada didn't leave America and go to West, what could have happened today? Can you imagine? Wow, scary. It's very scary. Right? Then these servants came and spread the thing all over. They inspired the disciples to create centers. Now we have temples like Malacca Center, very successful temple. Because somebody taken a vow after being inspired by the Acharyas. Let's make a big temple here. Let's make it. Like KL, like recently in KL, they started a new place. Now Penang, Todu, Ipoh, everywhere we can see this. We got a beautiful centers. Right? Because the commitment. If it's not because of this devotee, and somebody should have given you the Bhagavad Gita, somebody should have come and spoken to you about Krishna consciousness. All these don't happen by default. Somebody should be singing on the road. Somebody. And that somebody is actually the devotees, the servants of the Lord. So it is very, very powerful thing. All right. So that's a text 23. So shall we do text 24? You all are free, right?
Okay, Prabhu. Carry on, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Carry on, Prabhu.
How come, Raja Prema, you don't have a meeting today, is it?
Meeting 2:30.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it's 11:10. Just take a 2 minutes break. I want you to get up and listen because text 24, it is another mind-blowing topic. All right, just take a 2 minutes break. Just get up, take some water, and come back. Hare Krishna. Just 2 minutes. Hare Krishna. So let's continue. Okay, let's look at the next text. Text 24. Te maya peta kila chapale bake dante drutta kridanake nuvartini. So kridanike anuvartini. Chakru kripam yadapi tulya darshana shushushamane munayolpa bashini. Tamaye pat te maya peta kila chapalerbake dante dritta kridanake nuvartini chakruhuru kripam yadapitulya chakru kripam yadyapi tulya darshana shushushamane munayolpa bashini. The shushushume, we must remember the word, all right? Because shushushume means unto the faithful, all right? Or the people with faith, shushushama. All right, so te de mai unto me, apeta, not having undergone, agila means all kind. In Tamil, agila ulagam. So akila, okay? All kinds of chapale, proclivities, arbake, unto a boy, dante, having controlled the senses, adirtha kridanake, without being accustomed. Adirtha kridanake means without being accustomed to spotting habits. Okay? Anuvartini, obedient, chakruhu, did bestow, kripam, kripa, okay, causeless mercy, yadyapi, although, tulya darshana, impartial by nature, munaya, the muni follows of the Vedanta, alpa bashini, this is very important, one who does not speak more than required, right? So the word is alpa. In Tamil also we use the word alpa. Enna alpa gunama irukku, alpa. Alpana, nonsense. So bashini. Bashini means what? Bashya. Bashya means speaking, knowledge. I mean the sentence, words. In Malay we call bahasa. But bashini means speaking. Pesaradu. No, like for instance, now we are studying the translation. The purport is actually Prabhupada's bashya. That means Prabhupada's speaking, Prabhupada's word. But here is alpa bashya means, that means who do not speak more than required, or the people who do not talk nonsense. Translation, anyone? Please read the translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Although they were impartial by nature,
Mhm.
those followers of the Vedanta blessed me with their causeless mercy. As far as I was concerned, I was self-controlled and had no attachment for sports, even though I was a boy. In addition, I was not naughty and I did not speak more than required. Hare
Nice.
Krishna
Thank you.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. So what Narada Muni is now talking about, giving his testimony. He's saying about himself. He said, although they were impartial by nature, who? Those followers of the Vedanta. Okay. They blessed me with their causeless mercy. So that means although they were impartial by nature, that means they are not looking at the your son of Sudra, untouchable, go away. They didn't do that. They were impartial by nature. Those followers of the Vedanta, that means the great Brahmanas, devotees, they bless me with their causeless mercy. Then Narada Muni says, as far as I was concerned, that means as far as he is concerned, I was self-controlled and had no attachment for sports, even though I was a boy. Even though he's a child, he was not interested in sports, playing game, running around and all this. In addition, he says, I was not naughty and I did not speak more than required. So let's look at these things. First of all, okay, he was not naughty. He do not speak more than required. He had no attachment to the sports and he was self-controlled. All right. Because of all these, he got this causeless mercy by the Bhakti Vedantas. All right. Bhakti Vedantas. So this is the certain thing: self-control, no attachment, okay, and not naughty, and do not speak more than required. So this is certain qualities that he had. Okay, now let's look at the purport. Very powerful purport. So in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, all the Vedas are searching after me. Only three. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, in the Vedas, the subject matter is only three. All right, there's only three goals in achieving. Please underline. Number one, to establish the relation of the living entities with the personality of Godhead. Number one is to establish the relationship between the individual, the living entity with the personality of Godhead. Okay, to establish the relationship, the forgotten relationship. Number two, perform the relative duties in devotional service. Right? So to perform the relative duties in devotional service. For what? So that this can achieve the ultimate goal, that is go back home, back to Godhead. So number one is establish a relationship. Number two is perform the relative duties. And number three, all right? And okay, and number three, okay, and this, okay, number three is achieve the ultimate goal, back to Godhead. Okay? So this is established, this is number one. Number two is perform the duty. And number three is to achieve the ultimate goal, to go back home, back to Godhead. Now, as such, Vedantavadi, that means the followers of the Vedanta, they indicates the pure devotees of the personality of God. So these are the people, they are indicates, that means they are all known as the pure devotee of the personality of Godhead. Okay, just let me mark this book. The goals of the Vedas. What day is today? 20th May. By Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right. So I suggest that you all get a kind of sticker note like this, right? So you just write down what are the 3 goals of these Vedas and just take it out and stick it on the book so that you can keep it as your future reference. Right. So in the future, I just can get an easy reference. Okay, 3 goals of Vedas. Okay. Now, so pure devotees. And now such Vedanta Vadi are also called as Bhakti Vedanta. They are impartial in distributing the transcendental knowledge of devotional service. They are what? What is the character? They are impartial. They are not going to look at your pocket, how much money you have, what kind of family you're born. Are you a high caste, low caste, or what? All that, no. It's impartial. It's equal to everyone. So these are known as usually like Uttama Adhikari, the pure devotees. To them, Prabhupada writes, no one is enemy or friend. Are you following me? No one is educated or uneducated. And no one is especially favorable and no one is unfavorable. Okay? Please underline the statement. To them, no one is enemy or friend. No one is educated or uneducated. No one is favorable or unfavorable. So they are the Uttama Adhikari. In Bhagavad Gita, it says the gentle Brahmana who have achieved sees the dog and the dog eater, the elephant and everything in an equal vision. Okay. So now, then the Bhakti Vedantas, that means the Bhakti Vedantas, what they do? They see the people in general, yeah, are wasting time in false sensuous things. Sometimes they get very upset. They say, oh my God, why these people are simply wasting their life, all right, in false sensuous things. I mean, to enjoy the sense enjoyment. So their business is to get the ignorant mass. Their job is to get all these ignorant people to re-establish the lost relationship. Re-establish the lost relationship with the personality of Godhead. By such endeavor, that means by doing that, the Bhakti Vedantas, even the most forgotten soul, even the one who are most forgotten means what? That extremely ignorant. What happened to him? He's roused up. Roused. That means they wake up, wow, roused up to the sense of spiritual life. They can do that. And thus, and after that, they've been initiated by the Bhakti Vedantas. That means the most forgotten soul can be roused to the spiritual sense, then can be initiated by the Bhakti Vedanta. So by doing that, what happened? The people in general gradually progress on the path of transcendental realization. Wow. Okay. So the Vedanta Vadi, or what is Bhakti Vedanta, what they did, initiated the boy even before he became a self-control. They initiated the boy even before before become self-control. Let me still the boy, he doesn't know what it is before he becomes that, and was detached from childish spotting, etc. Okay. If you don't get it, stop me immediately. Yeah? But before the initiation, before that such initiation, the boy became more and more advanced in discipline. Before even he got the initiation, he was more and more advanced in discipline, which is, Prabhupada writes, very essential for one who wishes to make progress in this line. Okay, now let's look at the statement. So what Prabhupada writes here? All right. So, okay, what Prabhupada writes, but before the initiation, they become more and more advanced. Okay, in discipline. Okay, the word discipline here. Okay, then Prabhupada writes discipline which is very essential. Very essential means very important. It's the essence for one who wish to make progress, who wants to make a progress, right, in this line. Everyone following me? Okay, now I want to ask you, is this blue highlighter is clear? Because I'm using the
Yes,
highlighter.
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Prabhu.
Because for me it looks dark. I'm afraid no, it's going to be very hard for you to look at it. Which is better? I mean, which is clear? I mean, green. All the highlighters okay, right? It's clear.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay.
Okay, right. No, because I also try to like reduce the thickness or the darkness. So maybe in my computer it looks so dark. That's why I'm wondering whether you all can see or not. So discipline is very. Sorry, bro.
Can see, Prabhu, no problem.
All right. So it's very essential for one who wishes to make progress. Okay. Now Prabhupada also writes, in the system of Varna Ashram Dharma, oh, okay, I think I better begin. Okay, now it's better. All right, okay. Now I can see clearly now. So in the system of Varna Ashram Dharma, which is the beginning of actual human life, the small boys after 5 years of age are sent to become a brahmachari at the Guru Ashrama. Who will be sent? Small boys after 5 years old. After the child becomes 5, they have to be sent to brahmachari. They have to be sent to ashram to be trained by a guru. Right? Where these things are systematically taught to boys. The word is what? Systematic. All these are systematically taught to boys. All right. So now it doesn't matter, be they king's son or the sons of an ordinary citizen. Then Prabhupada make a very important point. What he says, the training was compulsory, not only to create good citizen of the state, but also to prepare the boy's future life for spiritual realization. It's very, very important. You know, it's very, very, very important. Right? Is to prepare the boy for future life. Okay? Now, the Prabhupada writes, the irresponsible life of sense enjoyment was unknown to the children of the followers of the Varnashram system. Okay? When you look at the children, they don't know. It's unknown. The boy was even injected with the spiritual acumen before being placed by the father in the womb of the mother. What does that mean? Right? So what does that mean? See, the boy was even injected with spiritual acumen. Right? That means the spiritual, what they call, potency. Before being placed by the father in the womb of the mother. So what does it mean? This is called the Garbhadana Samskara. So according to the culture, every child has to be produced through the Garbhadana Samskara, not out of lust, not out of missing. So at the time they will look for a preceptor or a good astrologer. They look for a auspicious time. On this auspicious time, auspicious date, they'll give you a time. Then on that day, we have to chant Hare Krishna. You know, we just like pray to Krishna, my dear Lord. Tonight I'm going to do Garbhadana Samskara. I hope the child that I'm going to bore is going to be a pure devotee. All that we pray and everything. Then after that, the father will place the semen in the womb of a mother, according to that, the time and this thing. Right? So now Prabhupada writes, both the father and mother are responsible for the boy's success in being liberated from the material bondage. Okay, the father and mother got all this commitment. They are responsible. They have to be responsible for liberating the child, whether boy or girl. Okay, that's why nowadays you see lot of troubles. Varna Shankara, so much of trouble are coming. Why? Because the children are some or other born out of wedlock. It's just a random. Nowadays, there's the institution of marriage also is no more there. Right? People are like stay together. They have children. You know, like the day I saw one. There's one guy met an accident and died. Right? You know he acted in one movie. It's a racing car movie. No. He's a footballer. Yes, footballer. He and his wife were living together and they had 3 children. Just a week before his death, he legally married his wife. And the funniest thing, the children are becoming the best men. Just what is happening? No, my father and mother getting married. Even when you talk about it, it's like so weird. What? Father and mother getting married? But of course, we as an Asian culture, it is something which is unheard of. All right? Father and mother getting married. So then of course, after they got married, and unfortunately, the guy died in an accident. Right. Anyway, so this is what is happening. Varna Shankara. So that is the process of successful family planning. So what is the successful family planning? Is to get children for the complete perfection. That's why in our culture, after marriage, they see the time for the Shanti Muhurta. The Shanti Muhurta is Garbhatana. But nowadays, they say, no, we want to enjoy first. After 1-2 years, then we think about having children. Everything is upside down. So now, without being self-controlled, without being disciplinary, and without being fully obedient, that means first, without self-control, no discipline, and not obedient. Prabhupada writes here very important statement. What he says, no one can become, right? He says that no one can become successful in the following the instruction of the spiritual master. And without doing so, no one is able to go back to Godhead. That is the thing what to do. Right? Okay. Now, any questions so far? All good? Yes, Prabhu. Chaitanya Daya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So we are talking about this. Okay, in this material life. Okay, there is maybe some happen to come into this get in touch with devotional service. But I was wondering whether this system of Varna Ashram actually does it require in life, even pursuing in devotional service.
What is it again? Please ask again. I didn't get you.
Oh, I mean, in these people who are come in contact with devotional service, devotee or whatever it is, or whether they are or they are on the path. Because since here mentioned that the system of Varna's ashram is there, so does it really in this moment, if people come in contact with devotional service, then is this the system of Varna's ashram? I mean, not just the order, I mean the way of living and all these things. Is it still required?
Yes, Prabhu. It is still required. It is still required because if you see nowadays, people are becoming devotees. There's a initially that we all became devotee through some preaching and everything. Yes or not?
Yes.
Now, after we become a devotee, it's our responsibility to continue the legacy with our children by bringing in a proper behaved people in this world.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So to bring in the proper behavior. So the proper behavior, and now they should be practicing Varnashram. But of course, we also, it is also in Kali Yuga. This is Kali Yuga. It at least going to take at least 1 or 2 generations before the thing becomes a standard practice.
I see.
Because we all join devotional service like by default, like,
Yeah.
for some or other, through some kind of benefit, we became a devotee.
Yes.
Then for us to bring up our children to become a devotee, it is not possible. Because we also like really not that. But soon in the future, maybe our grandchildren, right? They will become pakka. They become first-class devotees. So that's why Prabhupada introduced this what they call Gurukul. Because when initially Gurukul was introduced, it was not so successful. Then in between, there's some scandals.
Yeah.
The child abuse and all these kind of things. But now it's changing. Gurukul has become a preferred study place. Yeah. You saw one bodybuilder from Israel. He was in Gurukul since he was 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
And he's teaching how to do that mudras. When for Brahmanas, when you want to do the prayers, you should hold the finger like this, Matsya, all these things. He's teaching now. He's teaching online.
Oh.
But he's a Jew and he's an Israel guy. So things are changing eventually.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
But sometimes we also wonder, hey, how come my children, how
Yeah, yeah. That's
children
right.
are like not properly, or they're like, in your case, your children from another religion.
Yeah.
How to do? It's okay. It doesn't matter. All this we must know. So for those children who are not so serious about it, we should really work hard to save ourselves. Right? Even I tried my best, follow the Garbhadana principle and everything. But I see my elder girl is like sometimes very rebellious. My son who is supposed to be, all my children like becoming rebellious. Then I was thinking, is that so that their age, then later they become sober? I don't know how the thing going to work. Because this is all depends on Krishna. How the thing mystery, because we can't see the future. But we tried our best. Maybe what we did, maybe it's not completely perfect. But eventually, everything will be perfect. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu. So Prabhu, in Vaidhi Bhakti, if you are on the part, let's say in beginning of Vaidhi Bhakti, I think this system is very much close hand in hand in the path.
Correct. That's why Vaidhi Bhakti is very important. So
Yeah.
Vaidhi Bhakti is very important. Say like, for instance, when we are not from Brahmanical background, so we have to practice Vaidhi Bhakti to come to the level of Sattvic or level to the mode of goodness. That's why we say follow the rules, wake up early in the morning, do Mangala Arati, do your Japa, do your Tulasi Puja. All these are meant for purification. Like, I usually quote that Bhagavad Gita, Durena Hyavaram Karma. Throw all your abominable activity by devotional service, and in that conscious surrender to me. So what we understand from there is, we are initially trying to purify ourselves and to come to the level of self-realization. Once we come to the level of self-realization, that's when we can surrender to Krishna. Until then, we are still on. That's why we need a guru to guide us. Guru is like a personal coach. So guru will say, now you do this, now do that, now do this, personal coach. Okay, Prabhu?
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah.
Very, I can understand this.
But what is the most amazing thing, Prabhu?
Yeah.
The most amazing thing that we became a devotee, even we were not, I'm not sure what is my previous birth, but definitely I'm not a devotee. But to become a devotee like this, it's considered that's the most amazing thing. But for me, Prabhu, because I've been born as an Indian, for me, this devotional service, like it came just click to me. Because I can say it's part of our culture. Yes or not?
Yes.
But what is the most amazing thing, Prabhu? The most amazing thing, if you want to compare that, how lucky I am, okay, let's do a comparative studies. Now we got something like around 16 people are here. That means including me, 16. That means 15 people are here. Who is the most luckiest one? If you want to take a count, Prabhu, you are the most luckiest one. Chaitanya Dev, Prabhu?
Amen.
Do
Really,
you agree?
I'm very far.
No. First, you born as a Chinese. For a Chinese, sense gratification is their highest goal. Yes or not, Prabhu? Keep yourself unmuted, Prabhu.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
For you, your
Yeah,
sense
right.
gratification, enjoyment,
Very difficult.
success, money is the first priority.
Correct.
Secondly, for you to understand this Vedic literature, which is sometimes like twist and turn, is very hard for you to understand.
Yeah,
Because the Chinese culture is not philosophically inclined. Their philosophy is straightforward, yes or not?
yes.
When you see your writing, when you see your reading, when you look at the Confucius, the system,
Yeah,
and
right.
straightforward. But when you look at Indian culture and everything, it's like indirect. One word got 7 meanings. Can you imagine?
Correct.
Yeah.
A lot of
And number 3, you came from a faith, you came in a situation where your whole family is in different religion and you are single-handedly in Hare Krishna. Another amazing thing. And above all this amazement, you have got a bona fide spiritual master. And you're linked to the Parampara. Yeah?
Hare Krishna.
And imagine, Prabhu, you are the most fortunate one. In fact, in Chinese class, I used to tell the Chinese who become a devotee, you are the most luckiest people in Malaysia. Indians, by default. Some Indians also still believe this Hare Krishna is Hindu. Even we become a devotee, we take initiation, we still believe that we are under the Hinduism, we are under the flag of Hinduism, which we are not. Even they cannot get rid of that idea that I'm not a Hindu. Right?
Yes.
And imagine that kind of things, because the Indians usually take things for granted because, hey, part of my culture. But for a Chinese to become like this, and despite your whole family is against you, despite all your family, the best thing they are from Christian, your family, your whole family is Christian. And the best thing, you're living with them and you can still keep your faith. You can chant, you can still maintain, and you're initiated. And of course, you've got a beautiful name, Chaitanya Daya. So, what does that mean? Chaitanya Daya, you got the full mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So you are the most luckiest one. So we should practice whatever, but somehow or other, by default, we become a devotee. So we should get rid of all our belief system and everything, and we should just dovetail everything to the understanding and the belief of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara. We will never go wrong. When we start to think that we are clever, I want to create something new, I want to do something else, it's gone case.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, bro. You have asked a fantastic question. Because I was always thinking of talking about this, but I never got an opportunity. But since you have triggered it, well, it is so interesting.
Because also in the first passage it says that how come this 5 years old boy he can come to this the atmosphere that associates with devotional service. So we look now, it seems like the Varna Asrama also play a very big role. So so that's why I was wondering that this Varna Asrama, is it a kind of thing we should very much what do you call, directed to perform, and then for our beneficial of this such atmosphere, devotional atmosphere. You see?
Yeah. No, Varna Ashram is very important. Prabhupada wanted, and that's why Bhakti Vikas Maharaj is working on it to create Varna Ashram community. It's very important, actually.
Yes.
So now when we look at this boy story, that there's two situations here. First is Varna and second is Ashrama. Varna means the caste, that the thing that you're born to. Either you're a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. First, then he born as a Shudra. Okay? He was born in the Shudra, which is the lowest, and as a maidservant. But the highest in that Varna, the Brahmana, did not discriminate him. That is the real Brahmanas, real knowledge, real Vaishnavas. So that's why Prabhupada writes there, the Bhakti Vedanta or the Vedanta Vadi do not see any fault in people. They don't have any. They don't have all, the three things we learned just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have these, they don't have that, they don't see any fault, they don't see money, they don't see all this. There's nothing favorable, there's no enemy, there's no friend. They're always neutral. And that is the real practice of Brahmana in the Varnashram system. And he did it properly. And because of their good handling, they could train this boy who is the lowest in the hierarchy.
Oh,
And he got that opportunity. Okay, there's Varna. But now Prabhupada is referring to ashrama. Ashrama means first is a brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. So how he described that, he said now the 5-year-old boy have to go into Gurukul. Because the boy has to be trained before the sense gratification, before he could understand things. Like in my personal experience, Prabhu, when I became a devotee at age of 15, when I read the thing, Bhagavatam, this is suffering, misery, I say, what is so suffering? I don't understand what is suffering. Because I was not suffering at all. I was taken care. I was in silver spoon. My uncle, everybody was filthy rich. And I was like, suffering? What is suffering? Pain? I mean, there's a time where there's people with no money. Because I don't understand that. And imagine at the age of 5, definitely the child don't understand all these things. He doesn't understand anything.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
the child understands, they have to be trained in the Vedic system. So by the time he understands, he could handle it. Then Prabhupada says, but in order to get such a child, how the Grahastha should act? The Grahastha should bring the children according to the Garbhadana Samskara. So the Garbhadana Samskara in certain part of the world, they are already practicing in India and Europe and everything. But in Malaysia, I don't think so. It is still not the main thing yet. And I was trained by the Sri Vaishnava. Because there's no Gaudiya Vaishnava, there's no devotees came and told me about this Garbhadana. But this Garbhadana was taught to me by a Sri Vaishnava, a South Indian, I mean the southern part, they keep the big tilak.
Yes.
Big tilak, that particular devotee became a very good friend, and somehow or other we got connected, we became so close. And he was meditating, he was doing his chanting, japa, suddenly he got the inspiration. And there's a thing called prasana, something they just put, okay, Palita Tarna going to get a boy. And immediately out of blue, he called me up. Prabhu, because according to my district, I don't have a boy. All should be girls. He said, now we got a approval by these things, by Mahalakshmi, you're going to get a son. I say, huh? I said, what are you talking? No, because even though I'm a devotee, but still, these things, I cannot still accept it. All right, on this particular day, please join with your wife and start to produce this thing, and your Garbhadana Samskara is on that day. I'll do the prayers for you, I do a yagya for you, I do all this kind of ritual for you. And you also try to keep yourself as Krishna conscious as possible. Right? Then after the thing over, then I told him, he said, Prabhu, yeah, I know. The child is already there already. I said, what? And my wife is a pharmacy, she's in the medical line. And the first question she asked me, what? Why you Hare Krishna people all sentimentalists? She was not initiated, she was not a devotee yet, Hey, come on, la. What nonsense is this? First day itself, you confirm the child is there already. You Hare Krishna fellows all sentimentalists, la. But deep in her heart, she had that kind of, because she knows that sometimes my instinct is very strong. But she didn't deny that. And also they say, on the first day of Purusha, what they call, what month is that? The month of Venkatachalapati. What month is that?
Puratasi, Prabhu.
Puratasi, yes. First day of Puratasi, your wife's pregnant. So one day before we test, negative. Next day, when the sun rises, positive. Like that. So it's like that, Prabhu. Then after that, when he was born, he came out smiling. He was not crying. And we all thought, oh, great acharyas have born. Sometimes the parents will have that feeling, oh, great acharya have born. And now the way my son is doing, giving me a lot of doubt. Addicted to the gadget, every day play games, going around talking nonsense. He doesn't want to. No, Sada, only thing he can play Mridanga. Every Sunday he'll be there, always with Tilak and always with Sika. Only there's two things. It's just like a Mecca. But other than that, oh my God, very rebellious, 15-year-old. Until sometimes I used to wonder, did this Garbhadana really work or not? So that's why we see. So all these things are, but of course I tried my best to train him up. But now he's 15. Now is the time that he start to see things differently. So anyway, don't know how it works. But whatever said and done, Prabhu, this is a conditioned material world, and this is Kali Yuga. This is Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, it's very hard.
As you say, gradual process.
Yeah. Just look at Ajamila. Let's look at Ajamila's story. He definitely born out of Garbhadana, because the father is a great Brahmana, and when he was born as a young boy, he was a great Brahmana. You know, he married to a very beautiful girl. He performed his ritual so nicely. He's a first-class Brahmana. But in between his life, he saw a prostitute and a man was having sex in such a crazy way, and he got attracted. And I think keep playing in his mind, and he gave up this whole sadhana, and he gone. He fell down. And name it, he have done all the sins. When Yamadutas went and spoke to Yamaraj, he said, Maharaj, this Ajamila, just name what sin he didn't do. He did basically everything. He cheated in the name of religion. He said, come and I do yagya. Come, I do yagya. Give me money. All cheating. I done all kind of nonsense. You know, he killed. He was a bandit. And some of people are afraid to offend a Brahmana. He take the street. Hey, I'm going to curse you. People got scared. No. He said, if you're not going to give me money, I'm going to curse you. People get scared. They give money. He's doing all kind of crazy things. But eventually, at last, he was liberated. How? By coincidentally calling the son's name Narayana. And that's when the Vishnu Duttas and Yamadutas were arguing in front of him. And that's when he started to get back his memory. So sometimes this Garbhadana, whatever it is, that's why what Prabhupada says, very simple. When you want to find out the man is success or failed, we know at the time of his death. Right? We know at the time of his death. So that is the conclusion of his life. Whether he made it or he failed. So that's why it takes a lifetime of preparation, practice, that eventually at the end of the day, we could able to remember Krishna. But of course, Prabhupada put his effort. Just imagine the suffering, the torture, the anxiety, the pain that he went through. Krishna will not make him fail. Until in Bhagavad Gita preface, what did he write? Even if one person becomes a pure devotee, I consider my attempt is a success. Even one person, just he wanted only one person, his entire thing that he have done, one person to become a pure devotee, he says, my attempt, I consider a success. So when we look at that way, Prabhu, when we are under the flagship of Srila Prabhupada, whether we can be very naughty, naive, mischievous, but we are under the flagship of Srila Prabhupada. And Krishna definitely would want this to happen. Krishna definitely wants that every effort of Prabhupada, he put it here to become successful. So we are not going to take it for granted, but somehow or other, Krishna will create an opportunity and situation, environment that we're going to practice this sadhana very nicely. So this is the month of Purushottama. Increase your japa. Whether you do anything else or not, just others are secondary. In fact, my Prabhu, you know that Pran Govinda Prabhu's agreed to that. Yes. Everything else is secondary. Reciting certain chapter at Purushottama, chapter 8 or chapter something on Bhagavad Gita, chanting certain verses.
15, Purushottama Yoga.
Purushottama Yoga, text 15. Or you're going to read that certain chapter from that Canto 10. All right? Or we chant. All these are secondary. The primary is chant Hare Krishna, and only Hare Krishna. So one thing that you think you want to do, increase your japa, increase your reading of Bhagavatam. These two things is enough.
Yes, I follow that.
Yeah. These two things enough. Just go on chanting Hare Krishna, whether attentively or non-attentive. It's not as if you have to chant. Doesn't matter. Before you become attentive, you become inattentive first. Get rid of all that inattentive. Once you get a taste, you know, you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Say, what is this? Suddenly I feel so good, you know. Why suddenly I feel some kind of changes? I mean, when they chant, oh, Hare Krishna, why my word? Then when you start to get, no, Prabhu, you only get the attention when you get the taste. Let's face it, right? When we are eating prasadam, there's so many varieties. We are just simply thinking of something. Eat. But suddenly when you take some gulab jamun or we take something, we put in the mouth. Wow, what is this? Wow. When some wow thing happened, that's when you're going to pay attention to the plate. Oh, wow. Prabhu, how did you do this? I fry in ghee, Prabhu. Ah, really? This whole thing is fried in ghee. Wow. The attentiveness comes when you get the taste. Until you get the taste, just go on chanting. Even if it's going to be inattentive. Just go on chanting. 15, 16, 32, 64, 100, 200 rounds. Just do it. Even you're going to use clicker. Even if Hare Krishna, it just doesn't matter. Just chant. At one moment, there's a kind of the spike will happen in your tongue, and that's when you're going to be very attentive. So like that. All right. So it's such a wonderful discussion, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your question, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the encouragement. I'm really sorry to take up your time.
No, not at all, Prabhu. Not at all. Please, everybody ask question. See, the more that we discuss, the more question we talk, the more and more realization, application, practical way of devotional service will be manifested. And next week is a starting of school holiday. 2 weeks school holiday. So I am being a very greedy person, was thinking of maybe having a longer classes or 2 classes. Anyway, let's see what Krishna desires. All right, with that, we end the session here. Thank you so much for all your wonderful time, wonderful moment, and wonderful association. So we have finished our 24. So tomorrow is going to be 25. Tomorrow is what? Thursday, right? Thursday. Okay, and we're going to further this thing about what Prabhupada gives a very elaborate. So in this book, I see a lot of underline. See, every page I basically underline. Wow. Because previously when I was checking my book, there was not much underline. So this is, I think I really read it in detail. Because all these I've done, you know when. I wrote it. Sometimes it's better to write in your first thing. Reading systematic on the second attempt was 20th 11 2021. The first attempt was in year 2000. Yeah, year 2000. The first attempt, I read this in the year 2000. Okay, it's here. First attempt. First attempt, 17/10/2006. Rama Egadasi. Now it's 2026. So we are talking about what? 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I did the first attempt. So sometimes it's better to write in that book when you do first attempt. 17/10/2006, Rama Egadasi. Then my sister Kavita's first attempt, 11th February 2007. So I did round 2 reading. Second round, I start reading on 6th August 2010 on Kamika Egadasi, Friday. Then I did a detailed studies on 4th June 2025. Then again Tuesday, 30th May 2017. Wow. So it's always very nice that you write it down. I always write it down when I first start reading and all these things. Okay. All right. So I don't want to take much time. So thank you all for a wonderful moment, wonderful association and this thing. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada, our great Acharya who came solely just to deliver all the fallen souls of Kali Yuga, and is none other than Senadipati Bhakta, Commander-in-Chief, the most beloved of Sri Krishna. Okay. So with that, we continue tomorrow. Till then, we meet you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyevacha patitanam pavinebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So please give your feedback, your takeaway that we can relish what we have learned. This can be a fantastic revision. Till then, have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.